What a night of sports. Wow. George Pickens traded for 2 draft picks. What am I talking about? Just kidding. The Knicks are up 2-0. We're not going to talk about George Pickens. We're talking about the Knicks. There were 2 games of hoop last night. The Knicks are up 2-0. The Thunder regain home court advantage. My name is Shlomo Stark.
My name is Levi Jacob.
And this is the NBA Daily Recap in 15 minutes or less. Levi. Blue skies, baby. Orange and blue skies. Let's talk about the Knicks. They are up 2-0. I watched every minute of that game and did not think we would win until the last 30 seconds of the game. We had no business winning that game. OG was terrible. Brunson was terrible until the last 5 minutes. Bridges was terrible until the fourth quarter. Something happened during this game, and it was really great. Basically, the Celtics made the exact same mistake they made in game 1. And why was that? And I hear this if you're the Celtics, because that style of basketball won them the championship. So they're like, okay, yesterday we missed a lot of threes. Today, we're not going to miss a lot of threes. And if we shoot threes, we're going to win the championship. And the Knicks, who have zero pressure on them, down game 1, were not settling for threes. They were going in the paint, and they were just getting bucket by bucket. Bridges brought them back in the fourth quarter, and all of a sudden, in the fourth quarter, the Celtics could not hit a single shot. Literally, I think from like the 8-minute mark, they had one Jason Tatum dunk at the end, which was a scary dunk, I'm not going to lie, and then everything else with free throws. They couldn't hit anything. And we won. This is nuts. Nobody, including myself, who is the biggest Knicks fan, I would say. No, I don't think I'm the biggest Knicks fan, but I might be the biggest Knicks defender. I really believe in these guys. I would say the odds were 0 that we'd be up 2-0 after 2 games. Last night, when this game ended, it was the first time this season that I thought we might win a championship. First time this season. Well, first of all, the Thunder were still down 1-0 when I thought this, so we'll get to them in a minute. The Pacers and Cleveland seem beatable. Cleveland might lose the series because they're down 2-0, and the Pacers, it feels like, are overachieving, just like the Knicks, I may add, are overachieving. So it's going to be a rock fight with them. We went 7 games with them last year, and we were injured. So I really think we could take them, which leaves OKC. I don't think we could beat OKC, but listen, that series they were down 1-0. Minnesota plays very well against OKC. I'm assuming they're going to win with Curry out for a week. So I never thought we could get past Boston or Cleveland or OKC because we went 0-9 against them in the season. Last night, after we won the game, it was the first time I thought, now we're a contender.
Yeah, I think making the finals, I think a lot of people underrate making the finals. If the Knicks are able to make the finals this season, it would suck falling short of a championship, but it's still that's still a very, very good feat in and of itself and a lot to be proud of. I have a hard time with Celtics fans at the moment, or I guess kind of more generally NBA fans, saying that, what's falling apart is that they don't have the Kristaps Porzingis piece to all of this. If your title hopes are hinging on Kristaps Porzingis being in your lineup and performing to the max that he can, I wouldn't want those odds. That to me worries me. I'm sorry, there's no world in which the Knicks can have 3 quarters that look, as difficult for them as they did, and Tatum scores 13 points. It can't happen. It just can't happen. This guy, he wasn't played on the Olympics team because Steve Kerr doesn't like him for whatever reason, who knows, okay? He then has this whole season where everyone's saying, wow, he really should be considered for the MVP conversation, the Celtics. The guy, I said it last game, whenever he takes a shot from the 3-point line, I'm like, I don't know how they would ever go in. To me, he really is like the forward version of Kyrie Irving. Everyone gasses him up. They talk about how good he is. He's inconsistent more than anything else, and that's what ruins a player for me. It totally removes all of the interest because, yeah, Kyrie can have a game where he drops 55 and it's amazing. It's incredible to watch. And the next game, he has 10 points. It just wasn't a good shooting night. What is that? So it's the same thing with Tatum. He's been playing okay defense, but how do you contribute this minimally on offense to a team that they need you? They really need you out there. It's shocking.
You know who they don't give out conference finals MVPs, but you know who I would give it to? I'd give it to Steve Kerr for ruining Jason Tatum's confidence in the Olympics. coming off a non-finals MVP win because Jaylen Brown won it, to being benched in the Olympics, to having a fantastic regular season where not one person even considered him for MVP, even though his team was phenomenal and he played great. But he is a first-team All-NBA guy. I don't want to say he's a guy that doesn't show up in the playoffs because he does, but he has. I think you're like, it's funny. I was gonna come in and be like, Tatum couldn't hit water if he was drowning, and that's not how that phrase goes. But
Yeah.
oh yeah, the water. I don't remember, but I was gonna say something along those lines. But like, I still really respect him. You were like going like that, not a star.
No, he's not a superstar. You can't tell me he's a superstar. Listen, I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. He's a very good player. He's a very good player. Show me anybody else who was being argued about to have some sort of argument for being in the MVP race. He just doesn't show. Like, I actually think that last year people were giving him a lot of like, they were giving him a really hard time. It was a lot of the Celtics. What the Celtics were able to do in the playoffs last year was because teams were guarding Tatum because they thought that he was the guy. So a lot of his stats didn't really show the fact that he was also defending really well, and he was giving his teammates a lot of opportunity, and he was passing like crazy. This version of Jason Tatum in this playoffs is like, oh well, like, like it's like already, like, it feels like he's kind of giving himself excuses. This could be an opportunity where he really defines his career and really, really builds on his legacy and says, no, Jaylen Brown winning last year was, it was nice for him, it was good, but really I'm the real MVP of this team. He's just not doing that.
Yeah, Jason Tatum leads Boston to the finals this year and they win. He becomes like on the greatest Celtics levels. He becomes like I think above Paul Pierce. I'll tell you this. I'm more nervous when Peyton Pritchard has the ball and Derek White than Jason Tatum.
He dribbled himself into triple coverage. He crossed the court.
Yeah, I blame Missoula for that, not him, because Missoula also blamed himself for it. Like, that's why I'm saying it, is the play before that, he got a wide open dunk. So Missoula elected to not call timeout and do the exact same play again and the Knicks just defended it better. And then by the time, like, Missoula said, do this play. So Jason Tatum's like, okay, I'm going to do it. Like, it worked literally 2 minutes ago. Forget 2 minutes, 30 seconds ago. It worked perfectly. He tried it again and then just couldn't get out of it. So for the decision of doing it, I'm blaming Missoula, not Tatum. The execution, I could blame Tatum, but Levy, we're going to MSG up 2-0.
The Celtics also play better on the road for some reason.
The Knicks haven't lost a game on the road this playoffs.
Is that true?
Yeah.
I guess so. Wow, that's actually really crazy.
Yeah.
When they finished this game, also all the road teams had won up until this point, right?
Yeah, in the second round. Yeah, they haven't lost on the road.
I have one note also that I want to say is that Towns in the beginning of this game seemed more aggressive, and he was trying to get his shot, and he fought and on the rebounding side, yeah, no one can match his size. He has to do that more, and for some reason towards the end of this game he wasn't doing that.
What happens to Towns? He gets hot for like 10-minute spurts, 5-minute spurts, and it's like, no, we're never gonna stop him. And then he just kind of stops. Like Cam Payne at one point with Cat scored like 9 in a row, and Cam Payne started shooting threes. Like, Cam, stop the ball.
Yeah. But ultimately, I think that like, if they really, really want to take advantage of Kristaps being out, obviously, like, you got to involve him more. You just gotta.
All right, next. OKC beats Denver 149 to 106. OKC did what everyone thought Cleveland and Boston would do, which is, you won game 1. Good job. We are a much better team than you, and we are coming out desperate, and we are going to put our feet on your throat and choke you until you die, because I don't want any idea that you could win this series. I don't want anyone thinking that.
Yeah.
And that is what I really thought the Knicks would lose by 45, and I thought the Pacers would lose by 45. And in the end, the Denver lost by 43, which is I also thought that would happen. But they set an NBA playoff record for first half points with 87, and it was the record for points in any half. It was tied. Milwaukee had 87 a second half in 1978. So it was the record for first half and tied for the record for most in any half, including first or second half. Every Thunder player was good. Every single one.
Jokic also, by the way, fouled out.
7 players played in double digits. Seven Thunder players scored in double digits. Jokic had his worst game out of the playoffs of this season. He was awful. 17, 8 and 6, 6 of 16 shooting. Aaron Gordon was 3 of 12. It was just honestly, Westbrook was the best Nuggets player, ironically.
What ended up happening also was that Jokic fouled out. Like they did run into a lot more foul trouble this game. If you want to blame that on what's the referee's name that they announced was active for game 2? Man,
I know what you're talking about, but I forgot it.
it's gonna kill me. Either way, Aaron Gordon also said after the game he got some comments where he was like, they're like point blank period, like they're fouling us like crazy.
Yeah, but I'm seeing this every single playoff game. The refs are swallowing the whistles.
Yeah. But well, I mean,
Like,
the Thunder did end up getting a lot of free throws. This is exactly what we thought the Thunder would do. And I'm very happy to be able to see that they did. Like again, like last game, they only lost by a possession, right? Even with all of their team not playing as well, not being cohesive, they came to this game like we can't do that again, and that's exactly what happened.
That's what they should do. Like that. Like they're like if the Celtics had done that, or if the Cleveland had done that, we're having a very different conversation. It's like these are the best teams. Like they had an off game. Things are like it's gonna be fine. Like if you told me Thunder in 5, I would be like, yeah, that's a good call.
Yeah.
If you told me Cleveland or Celtics in 6, I'd be like, I don't know, man. They don't have it. So
The Thunder led. This is the stat that I always look at. The Thunder led in rebounding, but on the offensive boards, Denver had the edge. I think they had like 5 more offensive rebounds. The Thunder, I said this to somebody else, like about last game, needed to do a better job of keeping their centers on the floor to be able to at least do something against Jokic. I was saying that Hartenstein had a hard time last game with fouls. He had 4 this game as well. Because Jokic is Jokic. When you're able to put a body on Jokic to be a primary defender and have Chet be more of the help defender on Jokic, I don't think that the series is over yet because I think again you just can't Jokic and the Nuggets.
No, it's also just to be more simple. It's 1-1.
Right.
That's why the series isn't over.
No, I was thinking, if this is a game 1 and you saw the Thunder do this, people would be like, okay, yeah, like this kind of.
Well, if the Thunder won game 1 and they did this in game 2, I would say the series is over.
Yeah.
So,
but they're a young team also. Again, like kind of lack of.
Yeah. Listen, just give some SGA some love. He played like an MVP in game 1. It just wasn't enough because Jokic played like a Hall of Famer MVP. Like I guess every MVP is technically going to be a Hall of Famer, but Jokic played like Jordan level good and SGA played like really, really good. So it wasn't enough. But SGA said in the post-game conference, he knew it was at stake tonight. He just wanted to take care of things and control it. He made 11 of 13 field goals. He hit all his 11 free throws. He had 8 assists and led 8 players who scored in double figures.
That's 51. That's nuts.
Yeah. And Jokic was in pure Jokic fashion when they asked what happened. He said there was basically only one team playing tonight.
It's so funny because this is like there are certain players. I think this is why Greg Popovich resonated so much with European players. That's such a Greg Popovich comment. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it's just very like straight to the point. Like I'm not gonna what's the word? Like sugarcoat anything. I'm just gonna say like yeah, we just weren't. It looked like we weren't out there. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, so predictions, which would lead us into the next category anyway. Golden State, Minnesota. Steph Curry out for a week.
Yeah.
That is a tough blow.
That's really rough.
Really, really tough. They basically won a game without Steph. If I'm the Warriors, I want to win. So a week is 3 games. Like again, you have to be really careful about what they're saying. He'll be reevaluated in a week.
Yeah.
Which means no working out, no like he's jumping into it. So even that's not looking good. But let's say he's back for in a week. That's game 5. If I'm the Golden State Warriors, my goal is to be down to have 2 wins before game 5.
Yeah.
Let me get 1 more.
Yeah, to just give us a chance, maybe. What's really interesting is when Steph went out, in a weird way, they actually shifted the focal point of I mean, that's not weird, but in an interesting way, they shifted the focal point of the offense to Jimmy Butler. And you think, like, how can they really figure that out because he's such a different player than Steph? Draymond still got him in the right spots, and Buddy Hield, again, was basically playing the help from the outside.
Yeah, so to the Warriors' credit, they've had this twice so far in the playoffs. One when Jimmy Butler was out, and once when Steph, like last game, when Steph went out in the first quarter. They've come through when their good players are hurt, and people assume they're not going to come through. So now my question to you is this. I think we're both going to predict Minnesota wins game 2. So I'm not going to predict. That will not be my question.
Yeah, it's a waste of time.
My question for you will be this. Do you think they get a OKC type win where it's like, we are dominating you, you don't have Steph Curry, Or do you think the Warriors keep it close?
I actually think what's going to be fun is this is my prediction, and it could be absolutely off, but I think it'd be fun if this happens. I want Steve Kerr for one of these games to lean into Kuminga, and I want him to shine. I would love to see it happen.
Yeah, that'd be great. It probably will just because he doesn't have guys. So I'm predicting the Warriors bench in the third quarter. Like, that's what I'm predicting. Okay, that was the NBA Daily Recap in 15 minutes or less. I want to thank you, Levi, for co-hosting, for producing, and for just being a good guy. Just an overall great man. You know, people are lucky to have you. They don't even realize. I want to thank you for listening. And I want to thank the Knicks for being up 2-0 and for just like making me so happy. Orange and blue skies, baby.